What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley. Welcome to Steelers Almighty pre-game show. Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles today. Man, this game is going to be a rough one, people. It is going to be a rough one. Now, first off, it's going to be rough just because of who we're playing. The Eagles are really good. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The Eagles are a really good football team. But the Steelers are going to be without key members of the football team today, man. It's just like, Lord have mercy. It just makes it even more difficult for us to win. For like George Pickens, we're out. Deshaun Elliott, out. Larry Ogunjobi, out. And Corey Trice, is Corey Trice done? Like, is Corey Trice just done? He can't get on the field. I'm like, man, we go down a secondary guy, and he's not one of the guys that comes up. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe they're not seeing what they need to see in practice from him. I don't know. But either way, this is going to be a tough game, people. This is going to be a tough one. It's already Philly's good. It's in Philly. Hell, we haven't even beat them since 1965 in Philadelphia. Now, granted, I know we don't play there every year. I understand that. But, man, that is over half a decade since we have beat them there. So think about that for a second. That's almost 80 years. Woo! So we got to figure some stuff out. But the key to me is if the Steelers, we got to try to win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Now, you could always say that every week. I get that. But that's the key to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have to win. They definitely got to win it on defense. You can't let Saquon Barkley go berserk. We're just not going to be able to let Saquon Barkley go berserk. That's not an option. Got to keep him under 100 yards. I don't think there's any real possible way that the Steelers can win this football game if he gets over 100 yards. Now, let me put some context into that. Let's just say he breaks like a 80-something yard run and scores a touchdown. And then the rest of the game, he gets 30, 40 yards. Now, that's something different. That's something different. But for the most part, we got to just keep them under control. We also got to match their energy early. Because, with all the turmoil that's come out, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, they're going to be looking to go to A.J. Brown early and often in this football game. Steelers got to match that energy. They're going to come out tough. They're going to come out aggressive. And the Steelers have to match it. We can't come out slow like we've been prone to do so many times this season. I think we got to come out aggressive on offense too. Regardless if Pickens is there or not, that's fine. But we got to come out aggressive. We're better when we're aggressive. Period. End of story. The Steelers' offense is so much better when we are aggressive. So if we're going to go win this game, we got to be aggressive. We cannot be lackadaisical. Try to be conservative. Try to drain the clock. No. Go win the game. Go win the game. Don't BS it. Just go win. So just go win the football game and control the line of scrimmage. And that's easier said than done, by the way, because Philadelphia, I don't think they have the best offensive line in the league, but I don't think their line is third. I mean, if they're not first, which, again, I don't think they are, they're not the third best line. They're easily the second best line. Easily. So we've got our work cut out for us, but it's not impossible. This is not, oh, man, it's impossible for the Steelers to win. That's not the case. That is not the case at all. Tough, yes. Impossible, absolutely not. Hey, Big B, is Corey Trice inactive? Yes, he is. He is inactive again. It's crazy. So, I mean, again, maybe they're just not seeing what they need to see from him in practice to give him a helmet on game day. I don't know. I thought he played well. The games that he was in early in the season, I thought he was fine. So I don't know. So it's interesting, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Somebody said McDuffie just got a pick for KC. Okay. Um, I guess that's good because I had a little sleeper prize pick that Jameis Winston would throw 2 interceptions today, and boom! Thank you, Jameis. We'll take that money. Um, but yeah, man, we've got our work cut out for us today, but it's not an impossible task. We got to be able to run the football too. You know, I'm talking about stopping the run. We got to be able to run it. We got to be able to run it. Najee, you can't be bouncing outside. Look, I get it. They may clog a hole here or there. Just get what you can get. Don't be trying to bounce it outside when you know you're going to lose 2 or 3 yards because you don't possess that lateral quickness. No sense in doing that in this football game. You're not going to be able to outrun those guys anyway. So just try to overpower somebody. Look, Nakobe Dean's a little linebacker. Good, but little. Use your power when it comes to him because you can't run around him. You're not going to be able to do that. He's too fast. He's too fast. So I don't know about you guys. I actually like the matchup. I'm not afraid of this matchup. I'm not. Especially what we bring to the table on defense. Make them throw the football. Keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. Stop the run. That's number one. Make Jalen Hurts throw it. Keep him in the pocket. And we got an opportunity. We really do have an opportunity. You know, you got to make their offensive line work. You can't let them beat us down and wear us down because they're going to try to do that. They're going to try to out-physical us. That's what they're going to try to do. Well, we got to bring the fight to them. If the Steelers can bring the fight to the Eagles, we got a shot, people. We got a shot. That's all I'm saying. We got a shot. So, and on offense, we got to keep spreading the ball around. I think Pat Freiermuth could be huge today. Could be huge today. You know, I think Darnell Washington might be huge. So, but for crying out loud, Mike Williams has to show up today. Just period, end of story. Mike Williams has to show up today. We can't just continue to wait. He had some good catches last week. We need more. We need more. We can't continue to wait for him to get up to speed and on. And no. It's time. This is why we traded for him. It's time. So Pickens is down. We need another guy. You're that guy. Go make the plays. Go make the plays. Because apparently our man Roman Wilson has just fallen off the face of the earth. I mean, you talk about a waste of a draft pick so far. Lord have mercy. Couldn't stay healthy, and then when he's healthy, he can't get on the field. That's troubling to me. Darth Knight, first super chat, says, B, I'm worried about no Pickens, but I'm a terrible gambler, even on the money line. Steelers need to rock up the key stuff. Look, I get it. Not having Pickens is a problem. It is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But again, look what Carolina did last week playing Philly. Like, was there anything that did they play Philly last week? They did. It's like, was there anybody on their team that's better than what the Steelers possess? Like, realistically, has anybody done anything that they have that we possess? Because I don't think so. And they were able to move the ball. And if they can move the ball, then we can move the ball. It's going to take some creativity on offense, sure. But we can move the football. And we got to be able to stop them. Just got to stop them. You know, and again, I say just stop them like it's some easy task. I'm not saying it's easy, but playing football in the NFL is not easy either. So, yeah, we just got to hold our own. We got to hold our own. We got to get tough. We got to be physical. It's going to be a rowdy, raucous crowd. It's not going to be a typical Steelers away game. Not in Philadelphia, people. I'm sorry. This one's not going to be your typical Steelers. We got 25 to 35% of the fans in that stadium. Not this week. Not this week. We are really, literally going into hostile territory. So there'll be some Steeler fans there. Don't kid yourself. But we'll be going into hostile territory, which I'm okay with, to be honest with you. I'm okay with the Steelers going into hostile territory. And it doesn't seem like we're phased by that much. So I'm good with it. We got good veteran leadership. So I am absolutely good with it. Man Dylan with the little super chat here says, don't mention Roman Wilson like, oh, yeah. I gotta mention Roman Wilson. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Like in minicamp, good. OTAs, good. Beginning of training camp, good. Hurts his ankle, comes back, horrific. What? Like, what? I don't get it. I literally don't get it. I'm like, OTAs, mini camp, the beginning of training camp, before pads, all of that, he was great. Then he twists his ankle, he's out, and never to be heard from again. And anytime that they mention Roman Wilson to Mike Tomlin, something must have happened because Mike Tomlin is so dismissive of him. It's not even funny. Like, he doesn't even want to answer a question about him. He's just like, nope, he's not playing. That's it. I mean, he doesn't even utter anything about him, which means maybe he didn't take his rehab seriously, wasn't showing up, doesn't know the playbook, something. But yeah, Mike Tomlin is just dumb with that man, and it's crazy. Our man Darth Knight again. The NFL is what it is because of the parity. Any given Sunday means something. Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly. That's why everybody loves the NFL. Because your team can be bad one year, and the next year your team can be very, very good. Very, very good. And each week, your team has a chance to win. It's got a chance. Now, maybe not as much as others, but they still have a chance to win. So I'm looking over some of these scores right now. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The Steelers got to figure something out. The Baltimore is putting it on the Giants. Lord have mercy. Our man Lamar Jackson thrown for 5 touchdown passes. What is going on? What is going on? So, but yeah, I love the Steelers' chances in this football game. Again, they're going to have to play. They're going to have to get some stuff figured out. You know, they're going to have to get aggressive on both sides of the football. And if they are, then the Steelers got a real shot. The Steelers got a real shot. If they don't, we'll see. And this is my interpretation. If the Steelers come out and play physical and they play tough, they'll be in this football game. But if the Steelers come out lackadaisical, I think the Steelers get blown out. And what I mean lackadaisical, if we don't match their energy early, I think it'll be 17-0 the end of the first quarter. And that'll be the end of it. So, Arch Baby Doll, appreciate the support. Thanks for the super chat. B, do you think Russ is going to cook the birds? If our offensive line gives him an opportunity, yes, he will. Yes, he will. But that's the key. Offensive line's got to give him an opportunity. If they do, Russ will cook, I believe. If they don't, and he's running for his life, like last week, it'll be a problem. It'll be a problem. And I know people think, last week, well, we scored 27 points, and we did. But again, if you watch the film or watch the game, Russ was not comfortable in that pocket at all. I mean, early on, he was inaccurate. The line wasn't giving him any time. I mean, it was a problem. Can't do that against Philly, man. You can't. You can't. So I think what the Steelers may be able to do against Philly is attack their defensive ends. Run outside zone at their defensive ends. Double team those guys and run at them. If they do, I think that's where their advantage is, running the football. Trying to run against Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, I'm not saying it's impossible, but those guys are really big and those guys are really good. But if you can get off tackle and you can double team at the point of attack on those defensive ends of theirs, then the Steelers got something, Or even if you just single block it with Darnell Washington, the Steelers got something. So that's what I'm looking for the Steelers to try to take advantage of in this football game is find a weakness and just exploit it. Find a weakness and exploit it. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just ready for the game. I'm ready for the game. I want to see where we match up. To be quite honest, I want to see where we match up. Because here's what I know. If the Steelers roll into this football game and we go win this game, everybody will be talking about the Steelers are a Super Bowl contender. Right now, there's not a lot of people saying that. There's not a lot of people saying that the Steelers are Super Bowl contenders. We win this game on the road without 3 big-time starters, and we win, everybody will be saying we're Super Bowl contenders, and we would be. And we would be, which is what we want. So, Arch Baby Dog again with the super chat. Jumped on here late. Is Trice playing today? Nope, he's not. He's not. He's out. Again. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with Corey Trice. We talked about that just a second ago. Yeah, I just don't know. He played good early when he was playing, and then he got hurt, and now they can't find a way. I mean, is Cam Sutton that much better than him in practice? Is Beanie Bishop that much better than him in practice? I don't know. It appears to be that way, though, doesn't it? Because he can't get a helmet. He's healthy, but he can't get active. And just like, man, I don't know. But we'll see. The one that really hurts is Deshaun Elliott. Not that Pickens being out doesn't hurt. Not that Larry O being out doesn't hurt. But in a game where your main focus is to stop the run, your best tackler not out there. That's a problem. Now, are they going to invert safeties today? Are they going to let Mika do Deshaun Elliott's job and let KZ do Mika's job? My thoughts on that are this. Mika's done such a good job of just playing his position this year, playing center field. I wouldn't necessarily go against it and just keeping him there, but KZ's not near the tackler that definitely not Elliott, but Mika is. He's not even close to the same type of tackler. So, I don't know. My man Dylan here with the super chat said, in my opinion, if we can't beat teams like this, then this year will be the same. I don't know. It'll be the same outcome as previous years. First round in the playoffs, maybe one win. Here's the thing, though, Dylan. If you take, I don't know, let's just say the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs, because they don't have a top receiver. Let's say in Detroit. In Detroit, if you took away Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Branch, and I don't even know, one of their starting defensive tackles, if you took them off the team, and they're playing Buffalo today, if you took them off the team and they lost to Buffalo, would you say, this year not going to be any good, not going to be any different? I don't think you would do that. And I don't think we can do that with the Steelers either. I mean, you got to consider who's not playing in the football game. That has to matter. Because, again, you take those things off of good football teams, are they going to be the same team? No. And we can say, well, you got to have depth. I understand all of that. But Detroit wouldn't be the same. And most teams wouldn't be the same. The Steelers are not going to be the same. So I don't think that you can, if we just lose this football game, that you can just automatically say, well, it's not going to be any different than what it's been previously. Now, if we were healthy and we get blown out, that'd be a different conversation. Totally different conversation. But not now. Garth Knight, appreciate the support again as always, man. B, that's what I love about you. Find a weakness and exploit it. I think a lot of these coaches try and be nelly-delly. Yes, they do. But the good coaches just say, hey, man, this is what works. This is how we can exploit them, and let's just continue to do it. Change it up with different personnel packages, different formations, maybe a little pre-snap motion, pre-snap shifting. But we are going to find your weak spot, and we're not going to make it look the same, but we are going to continue to attack it. That's what the good offensive coordinators do. And maybe we got one, maybe we don't. We'll see. I think Arthur Smith gets a little bit of a bad rap. He was figuring it out early. I think the last month or so, he's been fine. I think he's been good. He's been good the last month or so. So we'll see today what happens. But again, the offensive line has a lot to do with that. They're going to have their hands full today. But now here's the one thing that I do agree with my man Dylan. The offensive line is healthy. You need to be able to run the football when we want to run the football today. That's what I will tell you. We need to be able to run it when we want to run it. Okay? And that's a good defensive line that we're going against, a good front seven. I don't care. What you mentioned about, hey, if we're going to be a good team this year, we got to be able to do this. Running the football would be that. I'm with you there. Let's see if Mike Williams shows up this game. Art's baby doll? Absolutely. We talked about that early. Yeah, they got to show up. He has to show up. Shouldn't say they. He's got to show up. It's just time. He had a couple of catches last week. Pickens is down. You had an entire week to say, okay, George Pickens is not going to be there. I got to step up. Well, here's your chance. Here's your chance. No more of he's working himself back in and he's figuring things out. No, we're past that. We're past that. It's time. It's just time. So time for him to take off the training wheels and get out there and go make some plays. Go make some football plays. I'm excited for it, to be honest with you. I'm excited for it. So first off, let me do this, man. We never really do this in here. I want to do this because I think this is a cool little thing. Let's sound off in the chat. Where's everybody calling from? Or not calling from, but where's everybody at? Where are you guys signing in at? I happen to be in Frisco, Texas, north of Dallas. But where's everybody at, man? Put it in the chat. Let's sound off here. Because I think it's fascinating where people are Steeler fans from. Because they're everywhere. We are literally everywhere. Which is, to me, is amazing. I know it's been like this for a long time. But man, that's my thing. I just like to see where people are at. San Diego. Louisville, Texas. Well, what's going on, man? You're just up the road. Washington State. Jonestown, PA. Cali. Oh, you're from Cali, though. Gotcha. Atlanta, by way of Cleveland. Raleigh, North Carolina. Seattle. Newcastle, PA. Man, it's wild where people are from, man. I love it. All these people. All over the country, all over the world. Steeler fans, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. So, Louisville, Texas, literally right up the street. Right up the street. That's crazy. South Carolina, Los Angeles, residing H-Town, I'm assuming, meaning Houston. Bloomington, Indiana, Big Ben F. You're from Bloomington, huh? I know Bloomington. I'm originally from Jeffersonville. So I know where exactly old Bloomington is. So what are y'all thinking? Y'all thinking the Steelers win today? We'll sign it off with this. What's going on, Capricorn Steel? Hyattsville, Maryland. Yes, sir. What are y'all thinking? We thinking the Steelers victory today? And let's be honest. Let's just be honest in the chat. Are we thinking win? We thinking loss? Y'all saw my prediction. 24-20, buys late. I think we stop the run. I think we keep it close. I think we're competitive. Because I think the Eagles have what I really believe is the Eagles try to knock us out early. They come out firing, and they try to knock us out early. And we stagger, but then we hit back, and we hit back, and we hit back. And then we end up getting tie the game up. And then late, Boz. My man Boz. So my man Ben P says, if we defy odds, I won't be surprised. We're always underdogs. Won't be surprised either way, either if we lose. Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised either way today. I would be upset if the Steelers get blown out, because if the Steelers get blown out, then I'm thinking, yeah, we didn't come to compete. And that is what will frustrate me if we don't come to compete. But if we do come to compete, I don't see how this one gets away. I really don't. Steelers are that good. So we're going to sign off, people. So I appreciate everybody that was in here. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. Remember, 15 minutes after the game today, we're going to be right back here doing exactly this. Make sure you guys show up. We'll be here. We're going to have some fun, talk about what we saw, and hopefully we're going to be celebrating a Pittsburgh Steelers victory. Our man Garth Knight again, hoping for the best. I'm a glass half empty guy, but hey, man, nothing wrong with being glass half empty if that's the way you live, brother. If that's the way you live, I get it. Either way, man, I will see you guys after the game, man. Make sure, like I said, 15 minutes after the game, we're going to be right back here talking what we need to do. Go get yourself ready for this game, and let's go get after it, people. Aloha.